Hey guys, what's going on? I'm just here to cover a game that I honestly don't feel is getting the attention that it needs in today's gaming world. There's a lot of games that get pushed to the front, and there's a lot of games that get pushed to the back. And honestly, in my opinion, I'm not seeing a lot of videos on this game. If you haven't noticed by the title, it is The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. The person that really, I got to give this person a shout out, the Philosopher's Abyss. He's actually, he's a good subscriber of mine. He comments on a lot of my videos, and he recently asked me if I was doing a video for this. I was actually planning on doing a video for this, but for different reasons. I was just going to tell you guys why I was excited for it. But he led me to go the extra step and actually talk about the game, and I've actually decided I'm going to cover the game. Any new news that comes out about it, I'm going to do my best to give you guys videos and inform you guys, just like I did with Fallout New Vegas. This is kind of a little theme I have with my channel sometimes. I pick up a game that I love and I'm personally excited for, that a lot of people don't know about, and I expose them to it. I exposed a lot of people to Fallout New Vegas. A lot of them went out and got it based on my recommendation. I thought that was really cool. A lot of people told me that they were happy they watched my videos because they were able to go out and know about Fallout, and they bought it and they enjoy it a lot. So, you know, that's awesome for me to hear. I'm hoping to do the same thing with this game. But first off, I just wanted to talk about, obviously, the game is coming out this November. Okay, it's going to be on PC, it's going to be on Xbox 360, and it's going to be on PlayStation 3. So all three major platforms are going to get one. Sorry, Wii. I just don't really see the Wii being able to handle this game personally. You know, so if you have a Wii, sorry, it's not coming out on the Wii. But I'm pretty sure you could have expected that. I've never seen Fallout on Wii, so I mean, I don't think you can expect the Elder Scrolls to be, you know, on the Wii either. But moving on, though, I wanted to talk first about, or I wanted to give credit, actually, because I give credit where credit's due, and I didn't just find this out of my brain. I didn't just think about these ideas. I found these, and it's actually, the website's called rpggamer.com. I'm going to put a link in the description to anything I talk about in this video, so you guys can go check that out for yourselves, read the articles, you know, basically for proof, so you guys can see it for yourselves. But basically what it says is Elder Scrolls V is going to be set in 200. It's basically a 200-year gap from the end of Oblivion, which was the Elder Scrolls V. So I actually like this idea. I think this is a good idea from a development standpoint as far as the story. When you think about it, the story, a lot of the times in an RPG, you need a backstory in the RPG to make it much more interesting. It helps the story flow as well as it helps the dots get connected, so to speak. And with this, I think it's a really good idea because it gives them 200 years to play with. It gives them 200 years to have things happen, events take place, battles maybe even, and just major changes in the world, you know, in general. So I think that's going to really cause the story to have not only a great backbone and a good backstory to fall back on, but it's also going to cause us to get more interested in the game. It's going to get our interest really fast. I remember in Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, those games, they had a backstory to them. Fallout 3, for those of you who don't know, you were born in a vault, and your dad had a mysterious backstory to him. Your dad had this mysterious past that you were trying to find out about. And that kept me on the edge of my seat until, you know, throughout my playthrough. I wanted to find my dad and see what the hell was going on with him. The other thing with Fallout New Vegas is the same thing. You get shot in the head in the beginning. You're a courier. You don't know what's going on. You're just like, what the hell? Why did I get shot in the head? It all makes for good backstory, and I'm pretty sure that they're not going to disappoint with the backstory on this game. So that's, you know, that's a good component to the story. The other component about the story, they said, is it's going to take place in Skyrim, obviously, because it's called Skyrim. I think that's how you pronounce it, and again, I apologize if I mispronounce the name or butcher it in any way, shape, or form. If any of you know how to properly pronounce it, you know, go ahead and leave it in the comment section, send me a message, and I'll be glad to correct that in my future videos. But again, it's being placed on Skyrim. It's a frozen place. It says it's a frozen homeland of the Nord race. Now, I don't know what a Nord is, but apparently the Nords aren't that badass because from what I'm reading here, it says that the dragons have returned and they're basically raising hell. They're gonna eat everybody, and that's never a good thing. The main character is a dragon hunter, basically. So, you know, that's your job. You're destined to hunt those damn things. You want to go down, hunt you some dragons, kill the bastards, you know, maybe make a nice little robe out of them and walk around like a little pimp in your dragon suit. I don't really know what you like to do with that stuff. That's between you and the dragon, but apparently you're supposed to be killing them. So, first off, the story right then and there, off the bat, sounds like a very interesting story. Who wouldn't want to be a dragon hunter in a frozen wasteland? I mean, that's pretty bad. Well, I don't know if it's going to be a frozen wasteland, but it's a frozen area. So think snow, dragons, and hunting those bastards. That's already got my attention, honestly. I'm just saying. It may be the ADHD or whatever that I have not been diagnosed with, but I think I have. But yeah, something is making me excited about that. It sounds like a very good story. It sounds like they know what they're doing with this, and they're really going to bring it. And that's really what an RPG is all about. When you play an RPG, you want a good story, and this sounds like it's going to be making up for a very, very interesting story that's going to keep you attached till you finish the thing. The other thing, they've also said that they've actually changed, they made some changes to the leveling system. They said that now, instead of at the beginning of the game, you know how you'd have to design your class and get everything all, you know, put together in just like Legos kind of. Well, they said that it's going to be a lot more like Fallout in this game, is what it's sounding like to me. It says that you're going to be able to develop your skills as the game progresses, which is a lot like Fallout. You know, you don't start the game with 100 lockpick. You don't start the game with 100 explosive. You got to develop that skill over time. Obviously, you're going to have your character's mental makeup at the beginning of the game, but it's not going to be as extreme as it was in previous titles. Also, like I said, you have the freedom to develop your skills however you wish as you're playing. And also, the player, you're going to get to level up skills. So basically, you'll be able to get more health, more magic, more stamina. It depends on the choices you make as far as what you like to level up. The other thing is the level cap is actually going to be very similar to Fallout, obviously the leveling up system. The level cap is at 50, they said, currently, and a lot of people may be like, well, what the hell, why is level cap 50? It says that though it's a soft cap with very slow progression after level 50, there's 18 skills. So apparently there was 21 skills in Elder Scrolls 4, and now it's down to 18. So I'm thinking you have to hone in on these skills a little more, and I'm starting to think, and I'm getting the assumption that a lot like the perks in New Vegas, like in New Vegas compared to Fallout 3, for those of you who don't know, Fallout 3 you got a perk every level. In Fallout New Vegas, you don't get a perk every level, you get a perk every other level. So every 2 levels that you level up, you get a perk. So at level 2, level 4, level 6, level 8, that's when you get a perk. So the perks actually, they take precedence more, they're worth more. You have to think about the decision more. You have to kind of pick and choose better. I mean, really, it's at the end of the day, you just have to pick and choose depending on what kind of character you want. For example, in Fallout 3, I got Bloody Mess like as soon as I can get it. But in New Vegas, when it was available to me, I was like, well, I don't know, because there's other perks that are more valuable to me. This like Silent Running or something, Mr. Sandman, something like that might be more important. So Bloody Mess has to wait. That's gonna play into just you making a decision and making a better thought out character, which is gonna lead to a better experience as it is an RPG. They also said that there's gonna be a radiant storytelling system. That's quote unquote. Like I said, everything is gonna be in the description, so you guys can check it out for yourselves. But it says basically that if you're like a spellcasting guy, you're gonna get approached by mages. If you're a warrior type guy, you're gonna get you're not going to get the same missions that a spellcaster is going to get. So this makes perfect sense. It's just more realism in the world, basically. It's more of a believable world. If you're a warrior and you don't know shit about magic, why are you going to get a quest that involves magic? It just doesn't make any sense. Mages aren't going to come up to you and be like, hey man, I know you're good with the sword, but can you try out the magic wand? It just doesn't work that way. So I actually like this. I think that it makes the world a lot more believable, and it gives it more life, gives it more breath, more air. It's fresher. And it sounds like it's going to add to the whole atmospheric component of the game, which is what an RPG is all about. It's all about the atmosphere, and it's all about the story. Those are the 2 main components. Honestly, graphics don't matter at all in RPGs, and even combat, for that matter. Combat could be sketchy as hell. There's RPGs out there that have sketchy combat and sketchy graphics, but the story and the atmosphere is amazing, and a lot of people are willing to overlook that. But that's just the way I see it, honestly. We all know that the Fallout games are not the prettiest games out there, but as far as they have a good story, they have the wacky characters, they have that fun replayability, that's really all that matters, and that's really what we spend our money on. So that sounds like it's going to be good. And another thing about the storytelling is, how you have those missions sometimes where you accidentally kill the person that gave you the quest, and then all of a sudden you can't do that quest anymore, it's done? Well, that's no longer a problem in Elder Scrolls 5. Apparently what they're saying is, say there's a shopkeeper that gives you a quest. Say you kill him. Well, now you don't have to worry about, oh crap, I can't do his quest anymore, that kind of sucks. What you can do now is you can talk to, say he has a daughter, you can talk to his daughter who has inherited his business, and you can apologize to her, and then you can retry the quest. I think that's awesome. I like that idea. I know I say a lot of things are awesome, and I know I say a lot of ideas are good, but I mean it every time I say it. And this is a good idea because of the fact that there's times now, I don't know why, but a lot of people like to kill people who give quests. It's just, you know, maybe they frustrated you. Maybe the quest is taking a while, and you're like, you know what, you bastard, you just wasted, you know, this much time. I'm gonna kill your ass now. And a lot of the times, you know, you can't do the quest after that. I think it's cool because it actually adds, again, believability to the world. It adds life to it. You know, like passing down the gauntlet, so to speak. If a shopkeeper has a daughter, why wouldn't she take over his business, and why wouldn't she take over his debts or his responsibilities, for that matter? So I think that, again, adds to the world. It brings more life into it. They also said that the development team is promising improved combat. Now, I don't exactly know what this means for sure, but what they have said is you're going to be able to dual wield stuff. Who doesn't like dual wielding, honestly? I think dual wielding is awesome. That's how I feel about dual wielding. You know, it's like you have one thing and you're like, you know, but you have two things and you're just, you know, yeah, that was a bad demonstration, but basically you're going to be able to dual wield, you know, like spells. Basically, me and my friends were talking about this too. This is pretty bad. Like, say you can have a sword in one hand and magic in the other, or you can have, you know, two hands working the magic. You could set a dude, you know, freeze a guy and then set his ass on fire just to make him, you know, I don't know. You can do whatever you want basically as far as the dual wielding is considered. Swords, if you're a swordsman, you can have two swords, and honestly, two swords are better than one all the time. At least that's what I've been told. And so that looks like it's going to add to the whole combat functionality. So I think that's really just going to add to it. It's going to add to the flow of. It's going to add not only to the flow of combat, but the enjoyability of it. You're going to enjoy combat a lot more because you're going to be able to multitask in this game, and I think that's going to add a layer of just a layer of enjoyment and a layer of fun to the game that wasn't there in previous titles. The other thing, they've also said that there's going to be 5 massive cities. As well as a variety of, they're going to be a greater variety in the underground environments. Now, I can speak for this because, again, Fallout, and I'll be comparing this to Fallout all the way, just because it's the same studio, it's the same director, and it's the same company basically. But basically, a lot of the areas, the underground areas in Fallout, look exactly the same. A lot of the textures look the same. A lot of the walls, the lighting, all that stuff. It looks the same. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it does get a little redundant at times. You kind of don't like, for example, in Fallout 3, when you go through the train stations and the subway stations and all that, it really wasn't the most exciting thing in the world because it was the same look. And I'm pretty sure Oblivion had the same problem, maybe with the caves or anything like that. But they've also said there's going to be greater variety. The character models, the faces have been improved. They said there's just going to be a little more variety. The conversations are going to have more variety. It's not going to be like you're talking to the same damn person every time. And they actually showed some of this possibility in Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas has a lot more faces, a lot more voices, a lot more turns of events as far as you know, the conversations that you have with people. And I think this is really just going to extend more into Elder Scrolls 5, and I think it's going to become even more evident, which is going to cause the game, again, to be more enjoyable, to be more realistic, to be more of a real world that you can really get caught up into and really enjoy the story, play it from beginning to end, not wanting to stop. That's what you want with an RPG. I know I've said it before, and I'm probably going to say it 5 more times in this video, but that's just how it is. I'm trying to think of something else to say, and from what I see, now obviously, like I said, there's a new engine. There's a new game engine, and I'm curious what it's going to look like, because that's what the next Fallout title is going to look like. That's how the next Fallout title is going to play. Obviously, there's going to be graphical improvements. They've already said there's going to be graphical improvements. There's going to be, you know, like, involves snow that falls and builds up dramatically, instead of just being pre-textured. So that's another thing. You know, the snow can actually accumulate up. I think that's going to add. And they also said that the environments, the trees and the branches are going to move independently with the wind. So if the wind's blowing, the trees aren't just going to be like one thing. It's actually going to be like independently. So it's going to move. I really don't know how to show you guys. It's kind of like your hands moving. That's like an older game, and then with like the Elder Scrolls 5, it's going to be like that. I don't know. It was a horrible showing. I just couldn't stop looking at my hand. I don't know. Sorry. But apparently that's just going to make things look a little more realistic. I think it's cool. They've also said that the viewpoints have been improved, the third-person view and the first-person view. You have the option to turn off your HUD completely. No HUD. You don't need the ammo counter on the bottom and a little health bar on the right. You don't need that anymore. So it looks like it's going to be just an amazing game, and honestly, I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, for a different reason than a lot of you fans out there, but hey, maybe I might even buy it. I don't know. One thing I will say is that the game is shaping up and looking like it's going to be amazing. It's just, you got to think about it. Better graphics, better character models, bigger worlds, dynamic environments. Like if you set something on fire and you set like grass on fire, it's going to spread a lot like Far Cry. I'm sorry. And so with the dynamic environments like that, and just the story shaping up to be the way it is, and it looks like it's going to be a great story. This game is really should have you excited. If you're a fan of the series, and you should be immensely excited for this. Again, I'm going to be covering this game more often now that I know that my subscribers want to hear about this game. If you haven't, feel free to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, it's not really a big deal. I'm not one of those people that are just going to sit in front of the screen and be like, oh yeah, can you subscribe for me, because it's like the most important thing in my life. I just want to know what the demographic of people that I cover, and apparently people love RPGs who are subscribed to me, and I'm just going to cover this. So you guys take it easy, have a nice day. Talk about it in the comment section. If you guys have a question or anything like that, drop me a message, anything. And one final thing before I leave, I hate the new YouTube loadout. I think the new YouTube loadout sucks balls. And that's just my personal opinion. I just think it's stupid. I don't care about every single subscriber. I kind of like the old layout, but that may be a topic for another video. But I'll talk to you guys next time. You guys take it easy.